IELTS exam in detail. So far we have looked at the essay writing and the different types of essays, and we have also covered report writing in general. Now we are looking at each type of infographic in report writing. Today we are going to be looking at the line graph and how to write a report on the same. Without further ado, let's begin. Let us first understand how to structure this type of report. Now when it comes to report writing for IELTS, there is a certain format, and in general it is this. For report writing we get around 20 minutes and we have to write a minimum of 150 words. Now coming to the structure of the different paragraphs, first we need to write the introduction. The introduction is basically the paraphrase of the question statement. Then coming to the overview, as we know, we need to do the overall trends, around 2 to 3 points of it. Then we have to do the third paragraph where we talk about the details, and these details need to support the overview, that is the overall trends. And last we have the summary, which is completely optional. Moving on, let's take an example of a line graph and see what kind of question is asked. Here we go. The graph below shows a number of books read by men and women at Burnaby Public Library from 2011 to 2014. Write a report describing the information given below. You should write at least 150 words and spend about 20 minutes. Okay, so this is part of the question. We have already looked at it. Now coming to the graph. Okay, so this is the complete graph. Here you can see number of books read, and here is the timeline. Now let us plan this report, and by looking at the graph here we can see, first we need to identify what are the main trends. Now for the overview we need to identify what are the main trends, and here we can see that here there are two lines. The blue line signifies the men and the orange one is for the women, and we see that these lines show some level of growth. Here we can see in 2011 we have the starting point here for women, which is around 5,000, so in between, so it will be somewhere around 5,000, and then for men here is the starting point, it's around 3,000, right? So these are how we identify the numerical data and the main point. Then apart from that, we see here both the numbers are the same. Okay, they are coincident here, so we can see that this was in 2013, and apart from that we also see this blue line. There was a certain level of increase, and then there's a sharp increase, and then followed by a complete rising trend, whereas in case of the orange one we see that there's a rise here and then there's a decline. Correct? So these are all the main points. So what will be the main points here? One will be that initially the men had read less books than women, and then as we move on we can see that overall both of these, in the beginning they show a rise and rising trend, and we can say that initially both of them, both the number of books read by men and women increased till 2013, right? In 2013 we can see that both of them are coincident, and we can say something like both of them had the same number of books read. Then men overtook women, and whereas women declined. So this will be the main kind of points, and we can write them here. Here we can see overall increase. Okay, overall both of the numbers have increased. If you see here, the initial point and the final point, even in case of women there's a increase, and women there was first an increase and then a decrease, and men we have steady increase and then accelerated growth, which is this final portion, which is a sharp trend. Now coming to the numbers, I have written down these numbers. In case of this kind of a graph, you don't need to write down the details. You can directly look at the graph and copy the details. For my benefit, I have written them down, and these are the same figures as your graph. Here I have, this is 10,000 point here, we can see that your initial points, and then 2012 we see that this is the point, and at the end we see that it's around this mark, the middle, so it's around 7,000. So this is how we read the line graph. Now these are all the numbers that I have written down. Moving on, let us look at the question of the day, and it is identify 5 uncommon words from the report that will help you obtain a higher score for lexical resource. Now if you don't know what lexical resource is, you should check out our video on writing band descriptors, which is the judging criteria for writing of IELTS. Now let's move on. Let us look at the introduction. Now, as we know, for introduction we need to paraphrase the question statement, and the question statement is this. The graph below shows a number of books read by men and women at Burnaby Public Library from 2011 to 2014, and we have changed it to this. The given line graph depicts data from the Burnaby Public Library regarding the number of books read by men and women from 2011 to 2014. You can see we have retained the key information like the years. We have also retained the name of the library and obviously number of books read by men and women, the main quantity that takes. Moving on to the overview paragraph, here we can see these were the some pointers that we had looked at: overall increase, women and men. Right, these were the few points we had taken for our overview planning, and now we are going to execute this plan. And here we can see, according to the graph, initially female readers read more books and seemed more interested in reading at the library, but in the latter half of the given timeline, the number of books consumed by women declined, while their male counterparts read more and more books each year. Here you can see we have covered all 3 points here. Okay, we have talked about the initial phase, we have also talked about the later phase. Now moving on to the detailed paragraph, we have already written down the numbers, but I have also put the graph for your benefit here. You can see, as we can learn from the graph, initially male readers consumed 3,000 books per year. Here we can see, this blue line, here we can see 3,000. We have already marked these details, so I am just writing them down. Initially male readers consumed 3,000 books per year, a number that steadily increased to 4,000 in 2012, after which we saw accelerated growth which reached up to 14,000 books read in 2014. Now here you can see within one sentence we have covered a lot of details. We have almost covered every single point of growth in case of the males. Then coming to the next part, which is on the other hand. Now for the women, on the other hand, women read 5,000 books per year at the start of the given period. So we have taken the starting point here. It's 5,000, and then, okay, let me start that again. On the other hand, women read 5,000 books per year at the start of the given period, hitting peak, this is extra, okay, hitting the peak at 10,000 in the year 2030. This was the same amount for male readership that year. Here we have covered the point where this coincidence is mentioned. Then after 2013, now coming for the last part, after 2013, books read by female readers started dropping steadily, reaching 7,000 books in 2014. Here you can see at the end we talk about the end point here, which is that at the end there was decline and it reached around 7,000. So this is a complete detailed paragraph. In case if you feel that okay, I might not end up meeting the word limit, then you can increase the details here. Maybe we could have talked about this end point for the main, for the men, and it reaches up to 14,000. Apart from that, we can also talk about the difference here, which is almost double, right? Men are reading double the amount of books women are reading. So this could be another point. So if you feel that you're running out of points, you need to look at the graph again and pick on the details that you might not have included before. And now we have the complete report here. You can take a screenshot of the same, or you can save this video for future reference. When you are met with a line graph, maybe you can follow the same structure of the report and write your own line graph report. So here it is. This is the complete report. And that is it for today. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, consider hitting the like button. Next time we will be looking at the table and how to write a report on the same. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. If you're looking for IELTS classes, look no further, because we offer online as well as offline classes where we provide you with comprehensive material, personalized feedback and a test series account with more than 140 tests. If interested, contact us.